This is a story about a girl. Every single day she wakes up, the more she sees it, but nobody else can. That there's something wrong with the world. And that it's her fault.
And what is this girl's name?
Ladies, it's very nice to see you. I met you years ago for the first season of Westworld. And God, how many things have changed since then.
I know.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about how did the story change for you all these years, and why do you keep want to be part of Westworld? Lisa, let's start with you.
I think for me, I always had a sort of plan on where Westworld would go. Jonah and I, first season, had a sort of roadmap for the evolution of the series. And so we've stuck to the sort of bones of that, you know, because it's a tale of humanity and the dawn of consciousness on a sort of epic time scale. The things that have changed have just been the deepening of our collaborations with our actors and our crew, and our faith and understanding they can do anything, and the desire to sort of challenge ourselves and push ourselves in all these little ways to keep exploring the characters on a deeper level, and try to grow the show. And it's been a real delight.
Of course, and one of these characters, Evan, Dolores, has changed a lot. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, that she's not called Dolores now.
No, Dolores is dead. Dolores is no longer with us. Now we see Christina living in a city that looks like New York, trying to make it as a writer. And you might notice maybe similar themes to what Dolores was experiencing in the first season, in that, you know, when we see Christina in the first 4 episodes, she has this feeling that she can't quite put her finger on, that she's either being watched or that something is just off. She's noticing little things in her world start to not really make sense. And she's starting to ask different questions. I think that's probably all I can say. But she's much more human, much more vulnerable. You know, she's not a killing machine. She's a writer.
Yes, she is.
Who says we can't be killing machines?
I was gonna say, I don't know. I mean, good. Yeah.
Your kind made a sport out of hunting us. You controlled our every move. And now I'm going to do the same to you.
Tessa, I've loved Charlotte from the very beginning of her appearance. I think she's very cool. And she keeps changing again quite drastically. What can we expect from her now?
Oh, well, thanks very much. You might be one of the only people. I think she's maybe someone that you hopefully love to hate, or just hate to hate, or just hate. You know, I think she's polarizing, but I like that about her. Actually, I like it. It's been a pleasure to play her because she's shifted so much. You know, I never thought I'd be around this long on the show, frankly, and so to get to play this character over time and have her shift and to play with our incredible, you know, collection of actors. Every season I've had the chance to work more closely with a new person on the show, and that also is a gift and a really rarefied one on television, I think. So it really it's been a tremendous challenge and opportunity and gift, this show, for me.
And Angela, it also applies to Clementine. I mean, in season 1 she was totally different than what we see her now in the new season. I did not expect her to be that badass. So tell me a little bit about her. What can we expect?
Well, thank you. I didn't know she was going to go in the direction that she's going in now, and you know, it's exciting because it's unpredictable. Everything's kind of unpredictable with our show. So the mere fact that I got to work with Ed and I had moments with Tessa were really exciting for me, that I was getting to now shift gears, that I wasn't this innocent kind of blind character in the beginning of season 1. And then in season 2, she was kind of completely hollow, I guess you could say, in the female form. And then in season 3, she had her freedom. But this season, she finds a different kind of quality, and I love playing her. So she's a gift. I love her so much.
I can't wait to see more of her. What was the hardest thing?
Probably a challenge is I think accessing, like I remember in the first season, for example, I realized like when I would go to speak to somebody, my inclination sometimes would be to look at them, and I realized that this was a woman, the way that she wielded power is she could bark in order without actually acknowledging the human that she's barking it to. And so there were things just in reorienting like how I wanted to play a scene, and I think like also accessing sort of rage and anger and nastiness. It's like not something I've had a tremendous amount of experience doing, both in my personal life or in my career necessarily. So that's an opportunity to expand. But and Ed said this earlier, it's healthy actually to excavate that part of us, to get to yell and to throw a thing. We don't get many safe spaces to do that, and we get to in this job sometimes. So it's that in and of itself is also a privilege to get to do that. But it's certainly it presented a challenge for me, at least in the beginning.
For sure. And Angela, what about you?
I'm a little strange because I find acting to be a relief. For me, it's a form of expression. So it's not so painful or hard or challenging. It's just like the place to be free, the place where you can breathe. And you have creative license, like Tessa was saying, and Ed had said it before, that you have this space to explore that rage, and it could be fun. It could be fun. You're not really going to do that in life because we've developed a civil society in which we want to be good people. But in characters, we can all have those feelings, and you have artistic license to explore them, and maybe to have, I sometimes feel some of the most intimate moments that you can have with another human being in life could be on that screen in that moment, to be really present. So for me, it's just been a real gift. I loved it. I love playing, and I love acting, and I love playing this part with these people, with this crew.
It's time to evolve into the species that we were meant to become.
Maybe it's time you question the nature of your own reality. We're not here to transcend. We're here to destroy.
Do you think you can save them? I've seen a path.
I want a story with a happy ending.
Quite a lot of women in the show are killing machines. And I just love it how many, badass female characters there are on the show. And Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have the feeling that they're getting stronger and stronger. And more, I guess. So could you please tell me a little bit more about those female characters and you creating this world where they are so powerful?
Yeah, I think the thing is women are powerful in this world and in the world of Westworld. It's just that there's a lot going against us in terms of societal constructs and the weight of history and the different kind of burdens that we've shouldered. And it's been really fascinating writing about those issues through metaphor and in this piece and exploring what are very personal issues for me, and I think our actors, in a sci-fi Western. It's funny because people think of genre as something that's not as much about humanity and the kind of vicissitudes of human nature. But for me, it's one of the places where I feel most free to explore my own feelings and what it means to be human, because it doesn't have that confessional sting to it, but you can still really go there, in part because you're going there through metaphor and you feel less exposed. So I think watching these women struggle against their shackles and evolve has been incredible. You know, you've seen Evan's character go from this winsome farm girl to this, you know, rebel leader. And what's really interesting too is there's a kind of Russian nesting doll effect that you can see, where society viewing our world, viewing a rebel leader version of Evan is like, we don't like Dolores when she's murdering people. But that was never a problem if the man in black was murdering people. Total innocence, right? And so you can kind of see these you know, epicycles of conversations being like, oh, okay, so you were fine as long as she was striving to be free. But when she got free and, you know, gave the world a taste of her own medicine, then Dolores was bad. So it's really an interesting observation you can make. It's kind of like a Rorschach test about the very issues that we're exploring. But, you know, nobody is all good or all bad or all pacifistic or all violent. And, you know, even this season, even the very nature of the constructs that we put around females, femininity, gender, and sexuality, you know, Hale's character, played by Tessa Thompson, is constructing her own regime, one that questions the legacy of human society in terms of, okay, do we need these human bodies? Why do we have to look like these? These were designed for us, but we could have been put in any body. It's our minds that are real. And, you know, thinking, is there a better design for her kind? So, you know, just exploring all of these issues that I think we think about on a personal level through this series has been exhilarating.
I am sure it's a lot of fun for you as well. Thank you both very much. I have to wrap it up. Just want to say one last thing. Lisa, Reminiscence is one of my favorite movies for the past year. So
oh my gosh, thank you so
for
much.
making it.
Thank you.